Yeah, one of the biggest things that I've run into recently still, believe it or not, is letting borrowers know that closing accounts once they're paid off is not necessarily a good thing for their credit file. Also, lots of disputed accounts on their credit file. Even though it does raise the score lots of times, it's something that's not going to be beneficial in the long run for them. I keep running into that day in and day out.
It's interesting because it's hard to tell them to either dispute or pay something off, because obviously we don't know what's going to happen. A lot of times paying off collections doesn't necessarily increase scores either. So it's like a position that we face ourselves when they ask us to, what do we recommend? And it's a really hard thing to do, to tell them to pay something not knowing the outcome, So
Right.
I always advise people to basically, if you're going to do it, just make sure it will be deleted from the account, and then you don't have to worry about it in the long run.
Yeah. And to piggyback off of that, I mean, when it comes to the way credit relates to interest rates, people that are rate sensitive, they need to understand that it's so subjective. You could price out a loan in the morning, and in the afternoon something changes because it happens with the market. So that's always very important, especially if they're buying a brand new house. If they're buying a brand new house and it's taking 3, 4, 5 months or more to build, rates could fluctuate, positive or negatively in that time frame. So, I really have to educate people on that fluctuation that could potentially happen, so that they don't lock themselves into a certain number and then get disappointed at the end.
The initial rate that you quote, it not necessarily means that that's the rate we're going to have available at the time of closing. So we have to look at all the details. Because you get a lot of people saying, my neighbor closed with a much lower interest rate, but it looked at so many things, right?
Exactly.
I also get a lot of people saying, oh, but such and such is offering no closing costs. And I'm like, let's think about this. So what are closing costs? I figure, let me explain to you what closing costs are, right? So the closing costs has lender fees, loan fees, right? Mm-hmm. Insurance, you have to pay out your insurance 1 year in advance. Title fees, title policy. And then miscellaneous fees, things like your escrow account that needs to be set up ahead of time, HOA setup fees, survey, the government fees. It's hard to think that all of this is going to go on with absolutely no cost to the borrower. So somehow, some way, your borrower is definitely paying for closing costs, whether it's that they've increased their interest rate to pay for those things. But it's better to give them an idea of, listen, this is the reality. This is all that is involved in closing costs, so that they know why they have to pay for closing costs.
And piggybacking off of that, it's, when you think about what you need to bring to the table, you need to think about down payment as well. And a lot of people think that you still need 20% when you actually don't. We have programs where you can go as low as 3%. Then you also have ones where you can bring down 3.5%, 5, and then 10. You definitely have to qualify for these things individually, so you just have to find out what's best for you.
Mm-hmm. And so it's important for people to know that there's special qualification that you have to qualify for the down payment assistance. So, we have to look at each file individually and see if you qualify for it, because that doesn't necessarily mean that because you haven't had a house in 3 years that you automatically qualify. So then we have 2 requirements, right? We have the loan program requirements, and then we also have the down payment assistance requirements. So, I try to get the assistance for as many people as possible, but it just depends on if they qualify or not.
When the borrowers ask a good amount of questions and we're able to communicate effectively, it always helps the process. Communication is another thing that I keep running into. I love having clients that ask the right questions and are willing to go out there and be a part of the process to actually become our partners throughout this whole thing and make it a lot of a smoother transition in the transaction.
Yeah, I got a call from somebody that was worried about her down payment, but not for the house, for the insurance for the property. So I had to educate her that it's included in the closing costs for the first year, and then after that, her monthly payment actually has a component within her escrow payment that includes her insurance. Correct. So that next year, when the actual bill comes due for insurance and taxes for that matter, she's not coming out of pocket. So that was a basic conversation that I had to have with her that is elementary for us, but
Yeah, no, that's true.
My name is Rafael Acosta, mortgage loan originator with Equity Prime Mortgage, and always remember, you're just one phone call away.
My name is Stephanie Martinez. I'm a mortgage loan originator with Equity Prime, and I'd always want you to remember that I'm available for you whenever you need me.
My name is Alex Ramos, mortgage loan originator with Equity Prime Mortgage, and always remember that I'm on your team.
My name is Christine Fonseca. I'm a mortgage loan originator here at Equity Prime Mortgage. Call me and let's make your dream of home ownership a reality.
All right.
My name is Diego Bisbal. I'm a loan originator here at Equity Prime Mortgage, and remember, we're a team. Let's get through this together.